Well, in California tonight, a new frontier forged in American justice. Whether you can drive a car while wearing Google Glass. Cecilia Abadie got a ticket for speeding back in October, was apparently wearing Google Glass at the time, which the cop claimed was covering half of her right eye. That's what it does. Well, now, distracted driving really is a legitimate concern. This cop dash cam footage that's circulating on social media tonight shows a man driving erratically, texting as he eventually, drove his car off the road and flipped it. He was okay, but man, was that a hard lesson learned. So wearable technology really is a whole new game for the legal system. The judge in the Abadie case ruled tonight that there was no proof that she was actually using the Google Glass at the time. So joining me now to talk about this is Monica Goyal. She's a technology lawyer here in Toronto. So there was no proof beyond a reasonable doubt, according to this judge in San Diego, that the driver was using the device. Is this case, because it's the first one we've seen, is it setting any kind of precedent for wearable technology, you think?
Absolutely. The California law actually didn't include or didn't even envision this type of technology. So one of the things that the judge had to do in this case was decide whether this driving with a monitor offense included.
That's what she was charged with.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like driving from a television in front of you. But yeah. I mean, we don't have many Google Glasses here in Canada, but basically it goes down here and you can read stuff on it and that kind of stuff, right?
Like Minority Report, Terminator.
Right. So is there any, sort of legal regime or regulation around this kind of device, here in Canada at this point?
We have this very similar laws to California.
Do we?
Yes, exactly. So we have, you can't drive with a handheld device like the distracted driving offenses that we have in Ontario. Very similar to the California one. We also have a no television devices or display devices while you're driving offense on Ontario as well.
So would that be enough, or traditionally, I mean, it's hard for the law to keep up with technology, right?
Absolutely.
So in this case in California, and maybe across Canada as well, is it advisable to legislate ahead of the technology? Is that what sometimes happens when we know this stuff's coming? Or does it almost never happen?
Never happens. It's so hard to envision what's going to happen. Like, look at the wearable technology. I mean, it was very popular in CES this year, the Consumer Electronics Show, and there was a number of new kind of inventions that came up. But smartwatches is another wearable technology, and in this case, it's always on. So in the Google Glass, in this particular instance, Cecilia Abadie said it wasn't on. The glasses weren't on. But with your watch,
you don't have that defense.
Yeah.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but with Google Glass, it sort of goes off when you move your head, right?
Yeah, and it turns on if you move your head. So
right.
in that particular case, she turned to see the police officer, and it turned on.
So it's almost impossible to prove that Google Glass is on or off, unlike your smartphone where they can, track this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's tricky. That's really tricky. So, I mean, does the law, could the law, though, get in the way of any sort of technological development? Have you found cases where that sometimes happens?
It does happen where, you could have a law that overly restricts and impedes technology development. But what we've generally seen is that the law lags behind the technology innovations.
Yeah, because it took forever to get the anti-texting laws, and I have got to do a better job of obeying the law on that one. I got to say that. I got to tell you on that one. Okay, Monica, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Brave new world, and we'll see where it all leads. But I suspect in a couple of years there'll be a Google Glass law or wearable thing law or whatever. All right, take care. Enjoy the rest of your night, and you do that as well. That's all for Thursday. I'm Kevin Newman. Thanks for watching. Lisa LaFlamme standing by in Jerusalem for the CTV National News.